we Indian also have a book of war, Art of War. I said, really? Then he presented me his book lah. So I bought both books, Sun Tzu Art of War and Chanakya Art of War. So just to make some comparison. So later I will share you what are the similarities between these two books. But in this perspective is Chanakya and the Art of War. So it's written by Mr. Radhakrishnan Pillai. So he's an expert in strategic thinking. In fact, he did his PhD in Arthashastra. Arthashastra ni lah buku yang ditulis oleh Chanakya ni lah. And it was written 2,400 years ago lah, when the kingdom of empire of India was expanding. And at this period, same goes to Chinese Empire. And these are two strongest empire in the world at that moment. Okay. So Chanakya played a role in ensuring India become the strongest empire next to China actually. And this particular person, the author Dr. Pillai ni, dia did his PhD in this particular book itself called Arthashastra. And he has master's degree in Sanskrit. So first of all, you need semua tulisan buku-buku lama dalam Empire India is done through Sanskrit. So first he went and learned Sanskrit first and masterized that. Then dia buat PhD dalam buku ni lah. So this is a little bit about the author. He has written 18 books on corporate management, leadership, semua based on this Chanakya punya teachings lah. Right. So next, who is Chanakya? So Chanakya is a Indian teacher lah. Dia macam during this Indian Empire, we have learned in history. So one of the biggest empire was Chandragupta Maurya Empire, which is the grandfather of Asoka. So he was the prime minister during this period, and he's the one that ensured the empire expand throughout the India. So this is the person who played the role and strategized, and he's very intellectual lah. So dia all-rounder. He knows everything like literature, geography, mathematics, economics and sebagainya. And he was the student in Taxila University. So kalau kita tahu Taxila University, one of the oldest university in the world. In fact, the first university in this world is in Taxila University, right? And that's where he learned, and he become lecturer kat situ sebelum jadi advisor to the king. Alright. So apa dia cakap? So the essence of war, dia dah menang banyak war through strategizing lah. Tapi dalam buku ni dia cakap, the first chapter lah, dia cakap first, before you start any war, you need to win your inner enemy. That means kita kena lawan benda-benda yang tak baik dalam diri kita, atau kelemahan diri kita. Kita kena betulkan diri kita dulu, baru boleh kita prepare untuk pergi war. So dia cakap dalam ni, konteks ni ada 6 perkara yang manusia selalu bersaing untuk menawan lah. Contohnya karma. Karma maksudnya lust lah, nafsu. Kroda maksud dia kemarahan. Loba maksud dia greed. Moha maksud dia attachment. Mada pride. Matsarya tu jealous. So kalau you tengok ni bahasa Sanskrit, so kita ada sedikit cedok sikit dalam bahasa Melayu. Contoh tamak haloba kan. So which is same lah, maksudnya loba tu greed lah. Itu yang maksudnya tamak haloba tu. So these are the benda-benda yang ada dalam diri manusia yang kita kena lawan sebelum jadi nak lawan orang lain, or you want to conquer other things. You need to fight and conquer this element inside of you, which will destroy you lah. So itu yang dia cuba masukkan kat situ. So dia cakap mana-mana king yang ada ataupun pemimpin yang ada sifat-sifat ni, dia tak akan tahan lama dalam pemerintahan. Dia akan dijatuhkan. So dia kata sebelum kita jadi a king, you need to control all this. Sebab semua ni akan bawa kemusnahan, enam-enam elemen ni lah. Right. So itu yang dia cuba sampaikan kat situ. So you need to fight your inner enemy before you strategize to win others lah. So one of the quotes from this chapter the author wrote was, the best war are the one that won without fighting. That means the best way is to not fight. Kita kena fikir or strategize how to win without putting a lot of effort into termasuk dia lah. Sebab bila kita pergi ke peperangan, dua-dua pihak akan mengalami kemusnahan dan kerugian lah. Second, dia cakap bila kita nak strategize, kita tak boleh emotional. So dia essence dia have emotion but do not become emotional. So dia punya point here was yang saya boleh tangkap lah dalam this chapter was jangan buat keputusan bila kita dalam keadaan marah, dan juga jangan buat keputusan bila kita dalam keadaan yang happy, kerana dua-duanya emotion yang akan influence kita punya decision making skill. So you have to be at a very calm position before you nak buat any decision. So kalau kita marah pun decision kita takkan bagus. Even at the happy moment pun decision kita takkan bagus actually. Itu yang dia cuba sampaikan. That's why it leads to the third point, which was the quieter mind actually. The typo actually. The quieter the mind, the better the strategy. So that means lebih calm you are, the better you look and better decision that you can make. So this was the essence of first chapter dalam buku dia lah. Dia cakap sebelum you nak become a conqueror, you need to conquer your own self first lah. So, your inner enemy. That's what the picture says lah. How to fight your inner enemy. Bayang-bayang sendiri. So next is this is a simple strategy yang this particular advisor use in anytime he goes to the war or strategizing plans to go to the war. So this is in chapter 2 lah actually. So dia cakap you should not hate your enemy. You punya strategi tu bukan untuk memusnahkan orang, and you should not hate people. And frustration will only lead to self-destruction. So, bila you frust, you cannot make right decision. Third one is plan your strategy in silence and wait for the right time to execute. So you don't tell your strategy to others lah. Bila kita cakap strategy to others, then there is no more strategy already kan. Defeat your enemy should be your primary goal and not killing them. So idea of you go to the war is to defeat the people, not to kill the people, right? And the last one, which is very unique, use one enemy to against another. So you choose your enemy's enemies. Kan dulu orang cakap your enemy's enemy is my friend kan. So, something like that is strategy. This strategy dia guna untuk war, but we can apply this strategy in our daily life kan. So especially I think the second point dengan third point, which is very important. So bila kita buat something or strategize something dalam hidup kita, it's best to keep in silent that strategy and wait for the right time to execute. So bila kita hebah kat semua orang, then there's no more strategy. So bukan semua orang akan agree with us, and there will be people who don't agree. There will be people who don't like us to be successful as well. So keep in silent your strategy, and when the right time comes, you execute it. And another thing is emotional. Bila kita buat keputusan in an emotional state, we will fail to make the right decision. So these 2 points I think is quite a good point actually in this book. So dalam war ni, this Chanakya dia bagi tahu there's 3 types of war that a person or a country can go through. One is an open war. That means face-to-face war. So, and it requires highest level of strategy and resources. Second is concealed war. Concealed war ni macam guerrilla war. So it's all about timing. So you go attack, masuk balik. Dulu time-time komunis, dia buat macam tu lah, guerrilla warfare. So they can attack kampung and then masuk balik hutan. So untuk buat this kind of war, you require timing. Your timing is wrong, you will die. Right? And the first method tu pula, it requires a lot of strategy and resources. Kalau you tak ada seorang strategis yang betul, you make mistakes and you will lose. And the third one is silent war. So silent war ni macam cold war lah. We use psychology and internal methods to continuously kill off your enemy. Usually yang ni more into internal punya infighting lah. Which leads to me to share one story which was in this book. Actually this Chanakya ni telah mengalahkan Alexander the Great. Bila Alexander the Great tawan seluruh Persia, the next is actually India lah. Bila next is India, he already conquered almost every part on the northern part of the India. Next will be this Chanakya's empire lah. So, and you know Alexander punya apa panggil dia punya bala tentera dia is like millions lah. So everyone was scared. So Chanakya fikir that time his empire is very small and resources is very little. So they fikir we need to collectively fight Alexander at that moment. Tapi ramai yang tak setuju. Sebab, you know, because they have different ideology or different way of fighting the war. So satu demi satu the government fall to the hands of Alexander. Sebab tiada unity lah at that moment. And the last was this Chanakya's empire, which is the Maurya Empire. And apa Chanakya buat is very simple actually. Dia tahu dia tak ada bala tentera. So apa dia buat, dia hantar spies dulu untuk kerja sebagai tukang masak dekat the camp of the Alexander the Great. Mula-mula dia hantar spy lelaki. So bila hantar spy lelaki ni, dia come back to him and say, oh, Alexander is very good, he's very strong, his team is very strong, they have a lot of weapons. But that's not what Chanakya wanted to hear. Sebab dia sudah tahu memang Alexander punya kekuatan yang besar, empire besar. Dan apa dia buat? He sends out lady spy. So lady spy ni tengok bila ada feedback, dia kata semua tentera kat situ, lelaki semua tengok dia orang macam tengok seorang anak, tengok seorang isteri, you know, tengok sebagai seorang kakak. Dia kata dia orang ni semua rindu dekat dia orang punya kampung halaman lah. So at that time the Chanakya dapat idea, oh actually dia orang ni semua homesick. So what did he send more lady spy to the camp, Alexander camp, and then at that point they created the bond. And you know, dia orang rasa macam rindu kampung halaman dia orang lagi banyak. And during the war, because of the rindu tak nak meninggal kan, sebab nak balik ke dia punya kampung halaman. So they didn't fight properly and they lost the war. And Chanakya as dia punya strategi, he don't kill. He don't want to kill everyone. So Alexander back off, and then he remained his kingdom and he expanded his kingdom through that situation. So that's how he won the war, beating Alexander the Great without using force. So that's how smart is Chanakya. So this is where the thing sometimes kita fikir, kita pernah dengar kan,
Ya, Mahis. Semua orang tak dengar Mahis ke?
Tak dengar ni.
Tak dengar, putus.
Kok Mahis terputus tu? Sekejap, nanti saya PM dia.
Tapi masih dalam line lagi ni. Tajuk menarik ni, tajuk.
Tajuk Mahis bawa ni first tak pernah dengar sebelum ni. Menarik.
Dia
So
version
kita akan
India.
settlekan 10.50 kan?
10.50 kita nak go for tu kan, tapi ada link baru
Ya.
kan? Link lain kan?
Sama-sama, link sama. Ni ada
link
student kita dah masuk dah.